McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. Ooh. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's. I participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
There's no purpose in teaching anybody who don't really want to learn, who really don't want to get to it. Everybody want to play entrepreneur. They don't want the sacrifice that come with this shit. Truly.
Late nights, early mornings.
You're going to lose friends, lose girlfriends, family going to call you crazy, not going to believe in you, then you make it, and then everybody going to be like, I'm proud of you, let me get some money.
What I've realized that wealthy people understand, and people in general, it's the small concepts that you can apply to get wealthy. You don't gotta be super smart and gotta know all the intricacies of real estate or taxes or e-commerce or whatever, trucking, whatever it is.
It's good if you wanna be rich in that business, but you don't need to know that.
You don't need to know everything. You just need to know small, basic concepts. And one of the smallest basic concepts that anybody can understand is get money, buy income. Get money, buy more money.
I woke up feeling wealthy today. My bank account might not agree, but hey, that shit on the way. Me and my niggas laying brick on top of brick till we straight. If you the type that play the victim, you can't come in my space. You know this game ain't for the weak, it's hard to carry this weight. I keep my balance through the ups and downs, I'm never gonna break. You feel the purpose in my spirit when you look in my face. Cause this ain't a second I can waste, I'm putting food on plate.
What's on with it, my wealthy people? It is your guy, David Bellard, one of the hosts of the Black Wealth Renaissance podcast. You are now tapped in to one of the greatest shows on the planet, man. I'm here with my brother, Jalen Clark. How you living, dog?
What's good? What's up with it, people? It's your boy, Jalen, man. Another host of the Black Wealth Renaissance podcast. I'm feeling great, man. It's December 4th. It's cold as hell. Shout out to the Alphas. You already know how we do. I had to put it out.
Happy Founders Day, man. I ain't gonna be a hating ass nigga. Happy Founders Day, brother.
You know I don't be a head ass nigga all the time.
You gonna be
but I'm gonna be a head ass
cool.
nigga today, man.
It's cool. Nah, you a head ass often, but it's
no,
cool.
not really, man.
It's cool, man. But nah, happy Founders Day to you, my brother. Definitely. Today is great. I'm feeling pretty damn good myself. Excited about today's episode. This is something that's been in the works. This is a person whose influence we felt many times over, and we're glad that we're able to finally get her on the platform. Been hearing praises about her for years now, and we're gracious to make this happen today. So for the people that's listening, before I get to introducing our guest, I always got to ask you, make sure you leave that 5-star rating and review, and you like, subscribe, rate, comment on whatever platform it is that you're listening to. It continues to help us grow the show. But yes, this lady here, she is making a massive impact in Dallas. She is in the trucking industry, which is something that we've touched on a few different times. I like to touch on the trucking industry because it's something that's a needs-based industry. There's nothing that you get in a store, nothing that you touch on a day-to-day basis that wasn't in a truck, train, or plane that had to go through logistics. It's a $6 trillion industry, and it's a lot of opportunity for our people to make money in this industry. And she is leading by example. She, a black woman in Dallas in the trucking industry, has built $1 billion tribe, y'all. That's billion with a B, of her and her mentees in this industry, and is showing people actively how they can build and grow their own business and change the course of their family. Like, this woman, her story is powerful. She done overcame a lot of challenges, and I'm excited and ecstatic to introduce to y'all. It's a lot of people that claim the word guru, but they don't have the backing behind it. She a guru in the real sense, y'all. None other than
give her the word guru, man. She
the
really
guru,
doing this shit.
She's doing this shit in real life, for real. So we have none other than Miss Kierra Henderson, aka the trucking guru. Kierra, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. That's a hell of an introduction.
Hey, look,
this man is like the master of introductions,
I love it.
Hey, this what I do. This what I do. So, Kierra, we are ecstatic to have you on our show today.
Thank you for having me.
We are welcome. So, I know I just gave you a lovely introduction. We would love for you just to introduce yourself to our audience before we get started.
All right. Well, do I look here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Hey, y'all. I am Kierra Henderson, the trucking guru, multimillionaire, mega fleet owner, boss. There you go.
Boom.
Sum it up.
I love it. Short, sweet, to the point. So, Kierra, I mentioned at the beginning, we like to start at the beginning with a lot of people, that you had some challenges that you overcame. So we be in our bag, we be researching, we be looking into things, right? So before you got into the industry, correct me if I'm wrong, you were a single mother of 3 and you had a felony and you had no formal education. So like many people, they look at that, they're in them situations, they're like, man, it's over for me. I'm cooked. So like, I want to ask you, what was that turning point for you whenever you recognized that you could take your situation and turn it into what you've built now?
My turning point was when I left my comfort zone. I got a job that was actually paying me the most I had ever made in logistics. And my ex told me that I should do it for myself. And I was afraid because, like you said, I have not one felony, a bunch of felonies. Single mom, no high school diploma, no GED, all that good shit. And it was hard to get a job. So I wanted to cling to it. But once he told me to quit and actually, do it for yourself, the first week that I did it was when I was like, oh, shit. I really can push this because I made $10,000 that week. So for me, that was income tax return every year. That's what I used to look forward to. So to make that in a week, I knew at that point I could make $1 million a week. I knew that there was no stopping me once I did that.
Wow,
that is crazy. I got a question. So with the felonies, was it like, can you talk about what it was? Okay, what had got you in trouble? And I'm asking this to make a point.
I beat bitches up.
Okay.
I used to be really timid, actually, one point in my life. And so my mom got me trained. And I used to be really good at boxing to where I used to want to do it professionally. And so my hands were certified. So unfortunately, I was a young 17-year-old pregnant with my oldest. And a girl came to my house. And she wanted me to whoop her ass, so I did. But in the state of Texas, they only had to prove 3 things. It was done in that day, done in that county. What was used was a felony. So that's how I got my first felony. And then from there, I ain't never been a lazy person to where money I had to have being a mom. My kids changed my life. So me not being able to pay for rent and water and all that other shit, I couldn't take the nose from the first felony. So I started moving weight. So that was pretty much the beginning of it.
And the reason why I asked that, because a lot of times people think that coming from that lifestyle that, they can't be dominant in enterprise, but I think that it makes you that much more cunning in being a legitimate business, because you understand business if you can evade the police, if you know how to make sure you're getting your money on time, right? Like, you have to have a supply, so you understand logistics.
You can't sue nobody.
Your supply, right? Like, you're going through all of these things. If you take it and you apply this on a legitimate scale where you don't have to worry about ducking the police, you know how crazy you can take some shit?
Do you know the majority of the people that the trucks that I personally run used to be from the street? Like my circle, I made them all invest, get trucks. One of them is actually like in my tribe on the daily, and he will shout it from the mountaintops. Like, the hustlers do way better at entrepreneurship because we're not used to things being given to us. Our mentality is we got to get it for ourselves. So especially in transportation, I'm learning those without I had a lady that had like 26 degrees and she couldn't move a truck for shit.
Really?
Yeah.
too analytical. Had
it's,
to have everything lined up, and
they overcomplicate it. They don't get it that all you got to do is get this load, give it to this driver, you get 10-15%. That's it. The hustlers, they be like, that's it, that's all I got to do. Shit, let's go.
You find this load, make it happen.
Yeah, that's it.
So, Kierra, you said that what were you working in originally? Was it dispatching?
When I first started on my own or for a company?
For a company.
I lied on my resume when I was actually a planner. When I was working for Snyder, we were doing dry bulk sand. And I had to basically babysit all of the drivers and make sure they got to their destination on time. I was a planner. I planned out their loads and their days for them. I thought that was the same thing as independent dispatching, and it is not.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's. I participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Well, when I took my first week at dispatching, I learned that I literally am the heartbeat for this company, this family, this man with these kids. If I don't find a good load for him, find a good back haul for him, he's not going to move. He's not going to make money. Like, I've had people come to me to where I was their last leg. Like, if you can't do this, I got to sell my business. I'm done. So dispatching independently is way different than planning or dispatching for a major company because they have the loads already. I got to go get the freight for them. So it's a huge difference.
Celebrate 50 years of the Timberland original yellow boot and the culture that made it an icon. The Timberland Hip Hop Royalty boot remixes the classic in a glorious purple waterproof leather with premium crafted details inspired by the 4 pillars of hip hop: DJing, graffiti, MCing, and breakdancing. Get yours in select stores or at timberland.com. Available in men's, women's, and youth sizes. Timberland, built for the bold.
So how were you able to make this 10K in that first week? Like, if it was so dramatically different, what made you able to succeed?
Ooh, okay. I got good loads. And that's literally how I built my customer base. I accidentally got some really good loads off of a load board, and I liked the route. And so the guys that I was running, I just called back and said, hey, can we run these again? So I did that, and I took 10% of the bulk, and I got $10,000. It was that simple.
So the first time you went through the load board, the second time you just went directly to them.
So dispatching is like the lifeblood of the trucking industry. We talked about the load board before. The load board is where everybody finds what needs to be moved, right? So you whenever you transition to working independently, is there anything that you need to do to be able to get access to that? Like, how does that work?
Yes, you actually have to either have your own authority, which you'd have to have a truck or be a broker to get a load board, or you can use the carrier who you're dispatching for. You can use their load board, or you can actually, they've changed. Things have evolved. Dispatchers used to be hated in the industry. Like, because, because brokers, we literally do the same thing that brokers do, except we don't touch the money. The carrier gets paid, they pay us. A broker, they get paid and they pay the carrier. So the way that this is legal, which is why the FMCSA has that big thing going on, the interim, to where they're trying to shut us down.
You said FMC?
FMCSA, Federal Motor Carriers.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah. The big boys.
Yeah.
They got this thing going now to where brokers are like, hey, dispatchers need to be shut down because they're paying to do what we do for free. You have to have an authority. You got to pay a bond. You got to do all this extra shit to do what a dispatcher does. And they hate us, but they always have. So, yeah.
So what makes the brokers like hate y'all so much though? Are they doing the same amount of work as y'all?
Yeah.
Okay.
So can we talk about the difference between a dispatcher and a broker?
Yeah. Okay. As a broker, I call a shipper and they give me like their freight, right? To move their freight. I have to deal with drivers and I have to post them on the load board, and they might come pick them up. They might find a better load and they might not, right? A dispatcher, I'm dealing directly with you. So you already know that I'm getting this load for you. You're going to go pick it up, and I'm going to do your next load. It's literally the exact same thing, except for a broker may get a carrier like once, twice, maybe 3 times. If they like the load, then they may go back and forth with them. But with the dispatcher, it's like a long-term relationship because I keep you going.
So is a broker, like with the dispatcher, so neither of them are like forced to work with one carrier?
No.
So both of them can dispatch loads to any carrier for them. It's just that with a broker, I'm sorry, what was the main thing with them?
They have to pay to do it. They have to get an authority and a broker bond.
Gotcha.
And you don't.
If we don't.
I got you.
Yeah,
That's kind of like
loophole.
It's kind of like wholesaling versus
being a realtor.
estate.
Got you.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Loophole. So of course, now that we have found that loophole, now it's like, hey, hold on. There's too many of them. What are they doing?
Yeah.
They're raising eyebrows now. So yeah, it's a big thing.
Damn. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Thank you for educating us on that. So your first introduction was through dispatching, right?
No. My first introduction was through planning, working for somebody else.
But independently for you was dispatching.
Yes.
When did you start to scale up and start running your own trucks or outsourcing? How'd you go there?
All right. So I am nobody's fool. If I'm getting you $15,000 a week, right? I like what you're doing, and you got a pneumatic trailer versus this dude over here. I'm getting about $8,000-9,000. He got a flatbed. I'm gonna fuck with this pneumatic. So I started taking my money and I started investing in my own equipment, and I started securing the freight myself. And then I evolved and started bringing owner operators on underneath my authority, but that's something completely different. But it just evolved. The natural evolution of trucking is dispatching first because you learn how to do it.
You got to get the loads, right?
You got to get the loads. So you're building a relationship with shippers.
Got to have a product to
they start to actually depend on you. They start to fuck with you and they'll ask you to take on more. If you're making the money and you're building that relationship, common sense will be the next move to get some trucks of your own because you know the lane, you know how it works, you know the bag you're going to get. So that's what I did. I just took my time and let it naturally evolve. Got
you. So you already had the skill set of getting the loads. When it came to getting started with the trucking business, you had to go get your own authority. You had to get the truck. So can we talk about that process? Like, how did that work? Getting your own authority, what's needed to do that? It's
a lot.
Okay.
It's a lot. And I tell everybody, if you cannot move your truck, don't get a truck. It's a big boy game. It's highly volatile, high risk, high reward when you own trucks. Because you can make a lot of fucking money. And I mean a lot. But you can also lose everything you got. So if you're not educated, and I don't mean I took a course, I've been dispatching for like 2 days and shit. So now I want to sell a course and buy a truck. No, you're going to fuck yourself. You have to take
gurus, the fake gurus.
Yes. You got to take your time. You have to actually get in it and learn how to do it, or you're going to go bankrupt. The process of getting your own authority is a headache. I don't do well with legal shit, so you pay people. I want to get my authority. Here you go. They set you up, BOC3s, all that good shit. Some companies will help you stay compliant. Compliance is a big thing as well. It's a lot.
And all that is through the FMCSA?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you go to them, you apply, and just some different paperwork forms. You can pay people to do that for you.
It's best that you do.
So typical costs.
Like $300 to start.
That's not bad at all.
Well, then you got to pay for your insurance. You got to pay for some filings here and there. But it's not a lot to start, honestly. Depends on your credit for your insurance and down payment on your truck. Could be anywhere from $3,500 to $6,000.
Gotcha.
But that's just one truck too.
So you have to get an authority for each truck, or
one authority.
Okay.
You get one authority, and then you just slowly grow your fleet.
I got you.
What's up? So you're in the dispatching lane. Recognize like, hey, wait a minute. I'm giving you checks for $15,000 for this type of trailer.
Yep.
I'm gonna go get my own truck. I'm gonna get my own trailer. What was the next step for you?
I'm gonna take over this lane, and I'm gonna stop charging y'all 10%. I'm gonna charge 25%.
Damn.
And since I've done such a good job, we're not gonna do 15. We're gonna do 20,000, because you know I'm worth it. That's the next step.
So how long were you doing the dispatching?
I dispatched for about a good year before I took over some shit.
Okay, so you did it for a year, really learned it.
But let me explain something to you. The power of relationships, networking. My friends that started at Snyder, they left and went to go work for the oil and gas companies that we were moving loads for. So I had some connections in certain places. I'm going to also make sure y'all know that.
That was what I actually wanted to get into was the power that you've been doing with the networking. I wanted to ask you, how often do you see new dispatchers call and request, hey, can I get this load again, versus just playing the load board game? I think that was one of the most pivotal things that you said that I feel like a lot of people wouldn't be doing.
I'm going to tell you something. If you were to talk to anybody in my tribe, we literally have a saying within the group, call them hoes. I do not teach them to start with a load board. I give them over 8,000 shippers. A lot of them I've done business with. Relationships are already built. Call them. Number one, let's say if you knew and you on a load board. So I got Joe a load Monday, planned it out, get the next load Wednesday, planned it out, pick up a short load Thursday, then deliver and get a load Friday that deliver on Monday. If that nigga oversleep and fuck up on Wednesday, your whole week is going to shit. You got to start all the way over. You got to work smarter and not harder. So if you call shippers just for a little bit, they're going to give you a dedicated route to where you don't got to get on the load board extra early, call 1,000 different brokers for these loads. They're going to say, hey, I need you to pick up on this day, this day, this day. You set up a nice back haul, and that's it. Easy bag.
Yeah. What's a back haul?
A back haul is a load that's going to get you back to go pick up the load.
So you ain't deadheading, as they call it, right? Driving back, because that's losing money in the trucking industry. Because if you just bring in your truck by itself back and you went, so I guess over the road, right? If you went to California, you roll back with nothing, you just losing
fuel, and you still got to pay a driver. Nobody would do that. A lot of loads now, if I'm dedicated to you, they actually will pay you enough money to where you ain't really got to get a back haul. But you should.
Really? Anyway. So dedicated routes are routes that once you built a relationship with a broker or a dispatcher, just a shipper, they're going to give you these routes on a consistent basis versus you playing the load board game.
Correct.
Where you're waking up, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning?
Early.
Just to make sure that you can pick something. So
that he might fuck up. You got to start over again and do it again.
Like when you say he, you talking about your driver?
Yep.
Your driver. So, okay, that's that's the thing, right? So driver management when it comes to this. So whenever you started, did you start driving your truck yourself?
I don't have a driver's license, sir.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
So no CDL?
No.
You've been able to scale your fleet to what? Is it 140?
She said mega fleet. I don't know what mega mean a lot, nigga.
I think it's like 140 plus, bro.
Yes.
So you've been able to scale to this with no CDL.
Correct.
That's amazing for one. Like the fact that you didn't have to get behind the wheel. So when it comes to finding reliable drivers, what's something that you could offer to the listeners here? Because I know that's like, I talk to people in the trucking industry.
It's
that's
like a contractor
that's their
for real
number
estate.
one like gripe. They're like, man, I can't find a good driver to save my life.
They probably not paying enough. Unfortunately, the drivers are the heartbeat to an owner. Like you got to pay them well. You got to pay them well. You got to respect their home time. You got to give them something that is sexy. If I can come home every night, if I could be home on weekends, they're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
If I get to do, let's say, teams where I go from one West Coast to East Coast, right, back and forth, you got to pay them a pretty penny to do that. Pay your fucking drivers. A lot of people that can't keep drivers ain't got no money to pay their drivers.
They're trying to scrimp and save.
They try to treat these niggas like they working at a fucking warehouse, and they not. CDL drivers have one of the most hardest jobs that I think in America or anywhere because it's international. They're lonely. They're out on the road. It fucks with their mental. It's a very hard job, extremely hard. So they should be paid handsomely.
Gotcha.
So what's the industry average, and what were you paying to make yourself different?
For my fleet, for my guys that are in the oil and gas industry, I pay them 30%. If they stay with me for 2 years, I help them get a truck of their own.
Damn.
And that means I'll pay half. You do half, I do half. I've treated my drivers so well that I've had the exact same drivers that started with me, and they put other drivers in their trucks.
And how long have you been doing this?
Over 20 years.
Gotta let them know.
Damn. So I kind of want to go back to that dispatcher days. You took that year. You were stacking a lot of money, right? Because I know you said you can lose your whole hat if you do this incorrectly. I know right now on the internet, people think and they see, oh, I can get started with $1,000.
No money, actually.
Yeah,
It
like
costs nothing.
they're saying all of these things, but they're not understanding the war chest you got to have just in case some shit do happen. Not just in case when some shit do happen. Because we understand that any automobile, if they on the road, shit is going to break.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or wreck. Or vehicular manslaughter. Or your driver can do like one of ours did and the road collapsed underneath them. And they roll down the hill. Cost you $500,000 out of pocket.
Jesus
It's some
Christ.
big boy shit.
Fuck. You just said the road collapsed under this man?
Yeah. The road collapsed underneath him.
It's like one of those roads that wasn't graded for a truck.
Yeah. The guy who's supposed to tell them where to turn wasn't there that night. So he took the wrong turn. You can make a lot of money, but you can lose your ass. You should take your time. This is something that you want to take your time, like actually experience it and learn from your carriers. Learn what lanes you like to run. Learn what they don't like to deal with. Take your time.
So I'm glad you speaking on this, right? Because we talked about loads, we've talked about carriers. I guess first I just want to go back and say what identifies a good load. Like we talked about what's a good load. Is it just price point? Is it the distance? What are factors that go into that?
No touch freight is a good load.
What do you mean?
Dollar General, they pay very well, but we cannot get. We had a contract with a friend of mine. We couldn't find nobody to get in the trucks because the drivers got to get out of the truck, go to the back of the trailer, and move all that shit down.
With the pallets.
Yep. No touch freight is a good load.
So niggas just too lazy to get on pallets though?
Niggas is too stupid because if as a driver, I would have got in there and hired a nigga to ride with me and paid him $10 an hour. That's what I would have did because we'd have paid you enough to do that. But whatever, neither here nor there.
Hey, that's just a hack.
Free gems.
Yes, that's what I would have done. But mileage, you don't want to have to go too far because giraffe pussy is where fuel prices are right now. That fucking high. It's too fucking high. And if you're going across the world and you ain't getting the money to go across the world, you're going to end up paying $5,000 in fuel and only make about $8,000.
For one trip?
Yes.
That's losing money right there.
Yes. Fuel is high. So what I did was, for me, what's a good load right now? Intermodal. Loads go 30 miles, 40 miles. I think
those are the ones where people can get back to the same day, right?
No, that's the container loads, the port work. Rail and port work right now. He asked what's a good load. That's where you need to be at. Loads are not going no more than like Dallas to Houston or Dallas to Oklahoma, depending on what region or what Gulf you're working in. They pay really, really well and your fuel stays low. And the beauty of the ports is 9 times out of 10, your drivers get to go home at night and they off on weekends. For me, that's what a good load would be. Something that benefits myself and my driver and my wallet.
So I know you said flatbed. What's that called?
I didn't say nothing about no flatbed.
Earlier you said you went from flatbed
to pneumatic.
That's what the word.
That was just a flatbed. What you want to know about flatbed?
I wanted to know about pneumatic. What is the pneumatic load? Because you said those was like real high. What was that?
The sand, oil and gas.
Okay, for fracking
oil
and
field.
all of that.
Gotcha.
I got you.
Okay, so we're talking oil field. There's different industries that you can ship for. We've talked about Dollar General. They pay well, but you got to do these things. So that's more the consumer staples, consumer goods, oil and gas. What is the most profitable industry, would you say, in the trucking? Crude oil.
Crude oil, and from my friend Marcus, Blue Collar
CEO, shout out Marcus.
I'm not gonna say what he told me because he told me not to say it on the internet.
hey, sometimes you got to keep it away. I understand.
He has some loads that are local.
He focuses on the oil and gas industry, right?
But he got some new shit that's paying like 20 racks a fucking week, and they like local around here.
Really?
Yes.
Damn.
I'm a woman of my word. I'll tell you.
Can we talk after the internet?
I'm gonna tell y'all later.
Sorry, y'all, but hey, the game is sold, not told in some sense.
Trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Relationships are worth more than anything. But okay, so there are different industries in the trucking industry. You found your way into the oil and gas because that was one of the more profitable routes. So you start building out this fleet. How long did it take you to scale? Because we talked about that too.
You know what's crazy? I actually didn't get to 140 plus until I think it was 2020. Right before I had my first event, I have a couple of phones. One of them was ringing off the hook. I'm on live in my group. And I pick up my phone. I'm like, I'm annoyed. I'm like, hello. And it's one of my customers. She's like, I've been trying to reach you. We need 75 trucks.
Damn.
I was like, for what? And so she gives me the whole spiel. I'm talking about, she's on speakerphone on live. I went to go buy 75 trucks for what this lady offered me. So I just started to get to big boy numbers the last couple of years. I don't get a truck unless I have something to put it on.
That makes sense.
That's really smart.
Instead of buying the truck like the whole chicken before the egg thing, right? I'm not gonna go and buy the truck if I don't have a load or a dedicated route to put it on.
It don't make sense. And I'm not going to get a truck if I don't know how to run my truck myself.
The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm getting my bets in on FanDuel. Talk to me, Chuck GPT. What do you know?
All sorts of interesting stuff, even Charles Barkley's greatest fear.
Hey, nobody needs to know that.
New customers bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in Virginia. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Because again, it costs a lot of money.
All right, I'm somebody that's new. I'm just starting out. Should I focus on getting a relationship with somebody prior to trying to get a truck, or trying to get that dedicated route, or mastering the load board?
Stay off the load board. Number one.
Stay off the load board.
Yeah, there you go. See, you a fast learner. What we using my load boards for? Stay off the load board. You want to stay off the load board. If you were looking to get into the industry, I'm only going to tell people what worked for me and what made common sense. Dispatching, you want to start there. And that's because, again, you get the experience, you get the knowledge, you get the money, you build the relationships, and from what you're doing on a daily basis, you'll know what type of truck to get. You'll know what type of lane you want to run. You'll know what type of driver you want to hire because you've been doing it on somebody else's dime while still making a bag. So start there.
Start dispatching.
Start there.
Because you can learn and get paid to learn.
A lot of money. I've made 19 millionaires from this.
Damn. That's a lot of M's, dog.
So
it is.
What you got next?
So, kind of like with continuing with what's the structure of the business, right? Now, I've mastered that. What does it look like to actually run the fleet? What's some of the pieces that you need? Do you need an ops manager? What's
safety.
What's all of those things that go into it?
You need a driver manager. You need a compliance safety person. You need a sales guy or gal. You need a operations manager. You need accounting department. You need a good mechanic or a mechanic shop or own a shop like I do. You need dispatchers. You need planners. I don't know if I said planners.
You do.
But yeah, you need planners too.
So that's
you need a whole team.
That's 9 things. Mm-hmm. At what level do I need this? Am I doing this with 10 trucks or less? Or this is when I'm really scaling?
What's up, my wealthy people? Hope that you're enjoying the show. Just wanted to give you a quick word from our sponsors. So if you're an accounting or finance professional, you're probably on the lookout for tools that won't just make your job easier, but will add value to your clients too. Today, we're highlighting one of those tools, JustWorks, a professional employee organization. So with JustWorks, your clients get best-in-class payroll, HR tools, compliance support, and access to a rich suite of employee benefits, all in one platform. JustWorks provides 24/7 expert support that's available both to your clients and their employers. As a JustWorks partner, you get free third-party admin access to your client's dashboard and seamless integrations with QuickBooks and Xero. You'll also get access to a partner relationship management tool for real-time updates and reporting on referrals. Plus, you'll get paid for all referrals that become JustWorks customers or forgo the referral bonus and pass on the savings to your clients. Find out how JustWorks can help your clients by going to justworks.com/partners. That's justworks.com/partners for more information.
You'll know. And the only reason why I say that is because I have people who have 5 trucks and they need a whole team. I got a girl that got 15 trucks and it's her and her sister doing it on their own. So it's really going to be dependent on you.
What you good at and
stuff
like
what
that.
you can handle.
I got you.
What you can manage. And, let's be honest, VAs are a huge thing now. We got VAs that are helping people run their companies too. So it's just going to be dependent on you and what you want to do. If your time is more important than you hoarding your business, I did that.
I got you. So for anybody
whenever you were first starting, were you like very hands on?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to talk about the effects of that, right?
Oh my God.
Because like you're a mother.
Talk about it.
I was just about to say my kids.
You're a mother. I understand. We've been through this ourselves, where it's like you're working so hard in the business that it almost takes away from you working on the business and your life, your personal life.
I
as
used
well.
to think that you could not have both. You couldn't be successful and have a good love life. And I don't mean with the man. I mean with your loved ones, because I was so focused on my business, every relationship suffered. And it's like I had to make a choice that most moms won't make. And it's like I'd rather them cry in a Maybach versus cry in a Honda.
She ain't capping the Maybach outside. She pulled up in it.
I wanted my kids are homeschooled. I wanted them to have a choice of what they wanted to do, when they wanted to do it, if they wanted to do it. Meaning I've planned for 3 generations. My kids don't never have to work. My kids' kids don't have to work. And you got another generation that don't. You don't got to do shit. You can either take the money that I've gotten for y'all and just be trust fund babies, or you could build a business. That was the life that I chose for my kids. I thank God for my oldest. She's a phenomenal woman of God. She's the smartest person that I know. She helped me with both my business and my children, but I chose to be successful, and that relationship suffered. I don't go to visit people. I'm a loner, and I think it's because I focus so much on building my business that I'm like that. People come visit me. I don't go visit people. Never, ever, including my parents.
Question. So is it still like suffering, because you said you used to think that you couldn't have both? So what was the shift? What made you think differently?
In 2020, my daughter had a breakdown, and it's like
the oldest.
No, my baby girl, and I completely snapped out of it. I retired before I became the trucking guru. I only came out of retirement because people needed help. And I don't mean with the courses. I mean people need their hearts, their minds healed. A lot of people are broken, and it ain't because they don't have a bag. It's just a lot of bad things going on. So I focused on that, and it kind of took the place of my actual business. And my daughter was like, no, I need you. And so I was like, shit. I had to step back and sit down, because I got me a penthouse and everything. I left the kids at their little mansion. I feel like they got it. My oldest is there. I was wilding, because I had worked so hard. I worked so hard and I didn't even get to enjoy it. And so I looked up and realized I'd never even lived by myself. Like I've always had somebody staying with me, whether it be one of my kids or a family member or a sibling. Somebody always lived with me. And so one year I was just like, fuck it, I'm taking a break. And that was the year that my daughter said, no, you lost your fucking mind. Like, we dealt with you not coming to piano recitals. We dealt with you not coming to, because my kids do a lot of things around the holidays. I'm not there, I'm working. She's like, I've dealt with that. I'm done. Like, I need my mom. So that's when things was like, okay, bitch, you tripping. You really need to be thankful that you had your oldest to help with the kids, but you got to be a mom before it's too late. You know, they're going to get older, and what, I'm going to have my money? No, I want my kids to take care of me. Shit. They ain't going to fucking know you. You working so damn hard.
Yeah.
That work-life balance for me was never there. It was never. That's the only regret I have.
That's real, though.
I appreciate you sharing that, yeah, honestly, because I think people do need to hear that, especially when it comes to building a business, because whenever we talk about the success, the accolades, there's a work ethic that it comes with that. And with that work ethic, it requires sacrifices.
It does.
But you also have to look at what's the trade-off and what's the benefits. So it's like, I appreciate you sharing that, because even on our own journeys, right, it's something that people can take from. It's like, okay, where can I find balance in that? And what am I willing to give up? Because you're going to have to sacrifice something along the way. Because, like, to your point, while you may have missed the piano recitals and you may have missed a few things that may have meant something emotionally to them, you were able to provide a lifestyle for them that they likely would not have had had you been able to go to all these things.
Yeah, that's so true, because instead of the recital, I bought you pianos. There you go. So, yeah, you're right.
So, I just appreciate you sharing that, and I'm glad that we were able to have that conversation. So now I kind of want to go back to you talking about that route with the 75 fleets, right? Because I was like, we can't glance over that. You feel me? Like, so they call you up and they say, oh, look, we need 75 trucks. Obviously speaking here, this is a 7 or 8 figure deal, right? I want us to talk to you about negotiating these types of deals with people, because that's not something that our people talk about often, right? We talk negotiating 7-figure deals with people. People think $1 million is, what was that Dick Gregory clip? Every nigga I know want to be a millionaire, right? Yeah. Like, but negotiating 7-figure deals, that sounds unrealistic to a lot of people. So I want to talk to you about, what does it look like to negotiate those deals and what factors play into it specific to the trucking industry?
Okay, so each one will be different.
Mm-hmm.
For me, this specific deal, you got your calculator?
Calculator man.
Always got the calc.
She called me, and I knew that I had her because of the words she said. They only want you. They want to pay you $3,500. It's like 75 trucks, and for a 5-year contract, right? So I said, well, can you do 4,500? You already told me they want me.
A 40 a load?
Yeah.
That's per week?
No, per load, brother. They might run multiple loads in a week.
Okay. Okay. I ain't gonna get too granular on it.
When we get off of here, I'm gonna show you the video.
Okay.
It actually happened live. She came back and said we'll do 4,500. So let's just say they do one load, 75 trucks, $4,500.
That's $337,005.
If things run properly, we don't have wireline issues, they'll run 6 days. Do times 6.
That's $2,025,000
in a week.
You know why people don't understand that type of shit is like easy? Because people don't truly understand that transportation. Why do y'all think these Caucasian people pass down trucking companies to their kids?
Because this is the lifeblood of our economy. If truckers said, fuck y'all, I'm not going to do nothing,
everything stops.
We would be in shambles as an economy.
That shit happened in Colorado whenever they was trying to charge that man.
You wouldn't be able to wipe your ass, bro.
Niggas stopped going through Colorado. I think they actually got the charges reversed and stuff, right?
Yes, we did.
At State Farm, we're committed to uplifting Black futures. In collaboration with organizations like 100 Black Men and National Urban League, State Farm provides high school students with the opportunity to learn and apply best practice strategies for saving and investing, all while offering academic support, life skills, and exposure to college access programs to prepare these students for life after high school. Check out 100blackmen.org and nul.org to donate and learn more. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You wouldn't be able to do nothing. Your groceries.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
every basic necessity in your life.
Not basic necessity, baby. Everything that we have to touch, drink, shit, sleep on, walk on, everything come in on the truck. People can't fathom the money in transportation because they don't understand that. I believe J.B. Hunt did $17 billion. I had it on my phone the other day. I was looking at, because that's what I'm trying. I'm coming for them. These other companies are doing billions every fucking year.
Was J.B. Hunt? I seen them.
That's
one
with the orange trailer.
No, that's Snyder.
Okay.
J.B. Hunt has the yellow swipe on the side of it.
I got you.
Why do y'all think Amazon went from the little expedite, the little shit caravans?
Mm-hmm. What was it called? Last mile delivery.
There it is.
Yeah.
They now do semi. They now do plane. They now do train. They touch every. That's my next goal for my tribe. I want us to touch every leg in logistics. I want us to do the trains, the planes, the
ships.
Semis. Cargo ships. All of that. People don't understand the power of transportation because they are too ignorant to just Google.
I mean, they should have understood it from what happened whenever the Suez Canal got backed up. That's because
too ignorant to just Google. And I'm saying, as a nigga, if you don't want to sit up and read all that shit, go to who made the most money in trucking last year. It's gonna show you these motherfuckers is doing billions. And it's easily done because they've been doing it forever. They got the operation, but the chain of command I just told you about, they got all that. That's like 4 generations in for most of these companies. We don't know that. So we think, oh shit, we can't do millions. We can do billions in trucking.
We think trucking and we think I got to be the person that's driving the truck.
Or a broker. We automatically think that.
But I also think it's what I said earlier, people thinking no money down and I can just do this fast.
Yeah.
But as you stated, you were 20 years in before you even doubled your fleet.
Yes.
So you had 75 before that?
Yes. And I'm going to tell you something. I have trucks that are just sitting. I don't even count those. My lovely man. We got more trucks just sitting. I'm not ready to even deal with them trucks yet. People think that this is a get rich industry, and it can be if you do it the right way.
It's not get rich quick. It's a get rich industry.
Yes. You caught that. It ain't quickly because I didn't even realize I made my first couple of million until somebody needed to borrow money, and I went to the ATM, and I was like, what the fuck? And I literally went in the bank, and they was like, well, whose money is it? And I was like, well, it's mine if it's in there. But I didn't realize because the money come in that fast. But you work so much, you don't realize how much money you fucking getting. Not if you really doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're too busy working. But if you work, it'll change some shit. It really will. Easily.
That's the key part is work.
Hard work.
You just want to get millions of dollars and think it's just going to be something where it's like, man, I did it once and then I'm up. Nah, that's not the case.
Nah, especially when insurance is at least $900 a truck if you have more than 20 trucks. You got 4 to 5, it's $1,200, $1,300 each. It's a lot of expenses in this
That's
shit.
why DeMarco told us he did that group insurance where he would get other people and they'll just...
You know DeMarco? I'm sure you know DeMarco.
I don't.
In Atlanta? We got to connect y'all.
Is it Metromax?
Metromax
Trucking.
We follow each other. I always like his stuff. He always posts the funniest shit.
I ain't gonna lie. He cold.
We got to connect y'all. That y'all are both like titans of the industry and I love it.
Yeah.
So Kierra and I kind of want to go to what you talked about with you coming out to start helping people, right? So now you said 19 mentees. My count was 18, so I'm off by one. 19 mentees who've reached millionaire status to create this $1 billion tribe of Black-owned trucking people. So first off, just amazing. Congratulations on that. That is astounding. That's creating wealth in our community for families in our community, and I genuinely appreciate that. So, what was the thing that made you decide, like, I need to pass the ladder back down and start helping other people?
At one point, I was extremely selfish. Nobody knew that I had as much money as I have. And I mean, my family included, nobody fucking knew. Because remember, I built a life and I was by myself. So they knew that I was okay. I never asked somebody for shit. If somebody needed something, I'd help out. But nobody knew how wealthy I was. So I'm sitting at the house, my feet in the pool, with the baby on my lap, my sister's baby. And I'm scrolling and I see, I think it's Start a Black Business, that page.
Mm-hmm.
And they posted something about a broker agent working from home. And the post said, a broker agent makes, I think it was like $65,000. Anything trucking, I like it. I post, I comment, I support it because I love trucking. It literally saved my life. So I made a comment that this is phenomenal. My agents actually make more because they do. If anybody need help, let me know. Because people were commenting, they liked it. And I was like, if y'all need some help, let me know. So I started getting DMs. And I started responding to DMs. And people started saying, well, can I talk to you? I'm like, yeah, we could talk. There was one lady that called my phone. And she was whispering when she called my phone. I had talked to hundreds of people, literally hundreds of people. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? So I even started looking at other people who were teaching the space that I was in and I was talking to them about. When she called my phone, and it's me, my sister, my brother's ex-wife, and one of my friends. And I'm like, what are you whispering for? And she's like, I'm going to call you when my husband leaves. I was like, okay. So we drinking. It's Monday. We chilling. I'm like, I wonder what she gonna say. I'm thinking it's some different shit. Like maybe she just, I don't know. When a lady calls, what she says like floors me. She's in an abusive relationship. She just wants to get the fuck away. This seemed like something she could do, yada, yada, yada. So I called the person that's in my tribe, the dude that I'm talking about that I grew up with, Nate. I called him. He went to go get her and her kids, put her in the house, got her some stuff, helped them start a new life. But I taught that lady how to truck. That lady made me realize that there are so many people, because other people have phenomenal stories and needed a lot of help. Like Miss Tracy Jackson out of New York, her son has a very rare disease, a very rare condition. So I helped her start an association for him, even helped her learn how to truck, right? I had been sitting with my feet in the pool for all these years, not knowing that so many people needed somebody to turn around and say, hey, you know, you can actually get a bag doing this and it don't cost you shit. You don't got to have no credit. People actually needed help. And I had closed myself off from the world that when I got those calls and those text messages, I told God I didn't even want to do this. I never wanted to be the trucking guru because I know my attitude. I would slap a bitch real quick. And people got Twitter fingers. And online, they say what the fuck they want to say.
Motherfuckers talk reckless on the internet. You ain't never lied.
Like, I won't pull up to an event and beat your ass because I will. So I know who I am. And I know God's still working on me. But I knew that the need to help, that was bigger than my stupid, bad attitude. So I started helping. I never in my life thought that those few people would turn into over 5,000-6,000 people that I've helped. Never would have imagined that I would have created 19 millionaires. Like that was like, what the fuck? The biggest cherry on top. I never knew that I would help somebody with depression. I had a lady that.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. It's tax season, and we're all a bit tired of numbers. But here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Guaranteed. Save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Messaged me just saying I could do this. I was planning to kill myself. And if I could plan this, then I could do what you're trying to teach. I had a lady that unfortunately just passed, but she left a comment. She would always comment, text me, call me, would always talk. Her name was Miss Sabrina. And she said, your lives have gotten me through so much. The last live that I remember her being on, she died the next day.
Damn.
And I did not want to go live. It's actually where I have this shirt on, but it's like with the red on it. It's recently just happened. So many people, like when I met my tribe members at the boot camp we had last weekend, just the genuine thankfulness. Delisa, who's a girl in my tribe, she told them to let's write Kierra a letter. Like I can't even get through the letters. Like I start bawling.
You be teary-eyed?
Yeah, no, it's like a fountain because I never knew that me just helping would inspire and actually change people's lives. So I'm thankful that I did it, but that's why I did it. Because people asked me to, and I said, okay, I will.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Creating impact.
Mm-hmm.
Impact over influence is the way it's going. Like influencer is a iffy term, but seeing that you can impact people's lives, that's where it really is. I'm glad that it was able to. I'm sorry that some of the things have been kind of sad, but glad that it's been something that you can use to change others' lives. So when it comes to people coming into your community and you starting to educate them, what does that look like? What do you, I know you mentioned starting off in dispatching, right? Mm-hmm. Is it different levels that like when people come in or?
We actually have TTG University, and this month we're actually revamping it to where we have the freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, to where we can teach people on different levels. And my black shirts will all be helping to teach everybody. So it would look like somebody entering the university, but it's going to be dependent on where you're at. Because I got some people who just need help and they own a fleet of trucks. So they get the course. They're part of the tribe. They don't belong with somebody that has no understanding of what a drive-in even is. So we've created the university, and that's going to be where folks will start. And it's going to be dependent on their knowledge where they would need to jump in.
Awesome.
92% of households that start the year with Peloton are still active a year later.
92% because of a bike?
Not just bikes. We also make treadmills and rowers.
Oh, let me guess, for elite athletes only, right?
Nope. It doesn't matter if you're an avid exerciser or new to working out. Peloton can help you achieve your fitness goals. 92% stick with it. So can you. Try Peloton bikes, tread, or row risk-free with a 30-day home trial. New members only. Not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial.
So when does the revamp launch, and how can they get access to it?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna say January 1st. We're pushing for New Year's, New Year Day, but when trucking calls, I answer. So let's just fingers crossed.
I got you.
Fingers crossed.
Okay. And I kind of want to ask about: are you just trucking now, or did you diversify into different assets? How you invest into keeping money growing? Because I know you say you're good for the next 3 generations. What did that look like?
You jumping the gun.
Hey man, well, go to your damn question.
You're jumping the gun, dog. This the ending question. You trying to steal from me?
I'm not trying to steal from you, man.
No. So actually, what I did want to ask about next was the current economic times. Right, we're entering into a recession. Government finally coming in out and saying, "Yeah, guys, it's actually a recession." We've been knowing it was a recession since earlier this year. Some of my friends that's in the industry, they started talking about like kind of like the loads being worth less, fuel being worth more, being costing people more. So I wanted to ask you, as somebody who's been in the industry for 2 decades at this point, some tips to surviving in this type of economic environment, and not just surviving but thriving in the industry in this type of environment.
I was talking to Boss Man Brewster about this last week, and it actually just came up on accident.
Shout out to Brewster.
Yes,
Talk heavy.
Talk heavy.
Big reform. Gotta say that.
Let's go. We gotta get Brewster on this.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But we were talking about how we were paying for so many different things, and we didn't even know. So number one, trimming the fat, cutting down on things that you don't need. Certain systems that people are putting in place because they think it simplifies things. I say that because Frank is sitting over there. He always wants a new system for something. Them shits is expensive. They always make us an app for that. Fuck that app. Get a paper and pen.
Yo.
And I'm not playing. I'm dead ass. Hey, it's like $2,000 a month for some of this shit.
Yeah. Really?
That's expensive.
Trim the fat.
Yes. If you got trucks that are not moving, reduce your insurance so you can save money. What else?
When you say reduce, like just cut the insurance on the truck since it's not.
No, don't cut it.
You can't do it. Yeah, I would say you get fined for that shit, right?
Not if it's just sitting. You actually can lower your insurance.
Okay.
You can lower your insurance. Get you a good insurance agent. I have one if anybody needs one. Very good. He will help you trim your fat.
Don't just go online and buy it. Talk to a person.
Yes.
Call them hoes.
Yes. There you go.
Okay.
You're learning.
You're picking up. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Over the road things are not as lucrative as they once used to be. It goes back to what I said previously. You got to be able to pivot if you want to not just stay afloat but thrive. By pivot, what the fuck is making money right now? Intermodal. You may have to leave the comfort of Texas. New Jersey got loads that paid, I think it's like 3 miles for $1,300. Like, it's some crazy shit out there.
Wait a minute.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Rewind that shit. You said 3 miles for $1,300?
You ain't even got to worry about a load on a backhaul at that point.
And remember what I told you? Some loads you don't have to worry about a backhaul at all. You got to deal with congestion at the port, though, but you still can knock out 2-3 of those. Easy. You have to be able to pivot within the industry. Just because you ran mail all your life don't mean that's what you should be doing still. If mail loads, number one, do not pay like they used to, and fuel is higher than it's ever been. This is the first year that I myself didn't see an actual peak season. This is never unheard of. I've never seen this before.
You're talking about like holiday peak season?
Yeah. I just mean things are about to get ugly. They really are.
And I could see the trucking industry being one of the first where we would be able to see that because, again, it's the lifeblood of the economy.
We have a crazy...
UPS and FedEx came out and said this shit, though.
So you know I ain't lying. Shit finna get real interesting. There was not a traditional peak season like for the holiday rush and shit. They just did not have it. And then when they used to send out the emails for certain things like the UPS runs, FedEx runs, that didn't happen until probably 2-3 months later than normal. And I've always seen the emails for years and swipe right past them. But I was like, wait a minute. What the fuck is going on? I kept telling Frank, this is something that's in the air. Something is in the air. While I'm saying that, there is a new, and it's not new to the world, it's just new to me, because intermodal is new to me. There is a certain lane that's going to pay retarded.
Is that the one that you talking about?
No.
Off camera.
No, this is a different one.
Oh, okay. Can we share this one?
No.
Oh, okay.
Take my shit.
Hey, y'all better join.
There it is, because the tribe know.
Join it.
The tribe knows they're going to be doing it with us. But different areas that I've never even knew that were thriving in trucking are starting to like poke their heads. So there's still a lot of good things out there. People just have to do their due diligence. They need to do their research the market, check out Freight Waves. They have a lot of good information all the time.
Freightwaves.com.
Free game.
To help you stay, Freight Waves is a phenomenal way to track the industry, what's going on, what's going down.
You said waves as
waves.
Okay, great.
They do it it kind of reminds me of the what's the thing you always talk about? Stock markets.
Okay, analytics and
it's like that.
Going through charts and stuff like that.
And then they talk to different people in the industry, so check that out. But there are different ways to thrive still, because again, y'all still need shit. We still got to bring it to you.
You right.
At the end of the day, shit. Life gonna keep lifing.
It is.
It's just getting a little bit more expensive. So I'm interested to see how 2023 gonna play out.
Me too.
A lot of concern. I know one thing. You talk about the stock market. It's a chart that I saw that was like one of those things that it sticks in my mind. It was ingrained, like the early 2000s of the levels that one of the stock exchanges is at, the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ at like early 2000 was like at all-time highs during the dot-com bubble. And it took like 15 years for it to recover. So it's like, I wonder if we're in a situation similar to that, because, history doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. And if it's like one of those situations where it's like, if we are at like crazy overvaluation like that, what does this recovery period look like? But at the same time, recessions are the best time to build wealth. If you're able to hoard cash and you're able to buy assets while they're at a discount,
pennies on the dollar,
you're gonna be winning. Because like I was talking to my little sister earlier, she was like, I'm scared to buy a house right now. Everybody's saying don't buy a house. JP Morgan just said they buying $1 billion of single family homes.
Why would they do that?
Why would they do that if everybody's telling you not to buy? Like we gotta stop being so scared as a people to make moves whenever moves are supposed to be made. Whenever we've been saying this shit for years now. We've been doing this podcast 4 years, right? Be fearful when others are greedy. The great Warren Buffett quote. But when it's time to actually be greedy, when people are scared,
you gotta hoard that shit.
Now we getting scared. It's like, now's the time to make moves.
This game time. Ain't no time to be pussy.
Whenever all this bad stuff does start to happen, now is our time to actually start building that generational wealth.
I also think that if people were wise, and people are going to hate me for this.
Okay.
If people were wise and reelected Trump, we would not be in this shit.
So, it's funny. I start hearing more opinions like that. And I'm personally, I don't lean either way when it comes to politics. I don't believe that the Democratic Party has benefited black people in any way, shape, or form. And I think that we are married to them in a non-beneficial way.
Why go look up the Democratic Party pre-Civil War.
Oh yeah, like before.
Go look that shit up.
Yeah, it flipped. It was pre-Reconstruction. It flipped. Like, but the Democratic Party, like black people is marriedness to them. It's so ridiculous to me. Like whenever Joe Biden went on the Breakfast Club and said, "If you don't vote for me, you ain't black," the audacity of that moment in itself was like, you mean to tell me you'll say some shit like this, but then you won't offer any actionable plan to do anything for our community?
Motherfucker who got the economic plan.
Whilst Trump did a lot for the black community.
He said some racist shit. Before they comment, Trump, he did this. He said some crazy shit. He said some wild shit.
I'm going to say this.
I'd rather the motherfucker say something to my face.
But y'all also have to remember, when have we ever had a president where the fucking news tried to make you hate that person? When have we ever had that?
Kierra, you saying some shit right now.
We've never,
ever
had that.
Now, Fox News did try to talk shit on Obama, but that was just Fox News.
That's just because he was black. I'm talking about to where all of the major heavy hitters tried to make this man look like an idiot, a fool, where the Make America Great thing was spent. Fuck the fact that we are the largest food exporter. Fuck the fact that we don't make anything that we need to survive, which is why we're about to hit a major food shortage. We don't even make aluminum anymore here. We don't even make neon here anymore. A lot of things that he was trying to fight to keep here to make America great, they spend it to where, he's a racist. Make America great means the white people. That man was hanging with niggas before he was the president. So how the fuck is he racist now?
Every rapper in the early 2000s loved Donald Trump.
Exactly. It's for a reason. He's a very good businessman, and America is a business. And we have given away so much. That's why shit is about to hit the fan. Because the man that tried to stop it, they tried to usher his ass up out of there. But what do I know?
Hey,
that's an interesting take.
It's definitely, I'm not, like I said, I don't lean either way, but I was never one of the people that demonized Donald Trump for that very reason, because there's certain things that he's saying that's making sense, especially in the macroeconomic environment. We start talking about global economics. China is on the rise because all the shit that we don't do, they do.
They're exporting.
Exactly.
They're exporting everything.
Exactly.
No, so
it's so much, and it's so many facts that I have on things that he's done for the black community that never ever reached the news, not once. It's like hidden shit. You got to be in a certain tax bracket to know that.
Can you share one of them?
I'll tell you offline.
All right, that's a bet then. I know we are going to have to start shifting into our last questions that I can now start asking.
Okay. All right, let me ask my first one. So Kierra, since Jalen was jumping the gun earlier, I just gotta ask my question. So what are you doing with your money to make sure that you don't go broke again?
Paying somebody to take care of it because I can't. I got somebody to handle my money. I'm not a money girl. I just
elaborate on that.
I will buy a lot of cake with my money. So I pay somebody to take care of my money, to manage my money for me. What they do with it is none of my business. Why do I say that? Because they've handled my shit for 15 years flawlessly. Not a dime missing. And it's quadrupled. So I know my strengths and my weaknesses. Money management has never been my thing. I'll pay for the whole tribe to go to fucking Cabo, Mexico, Fiji. Like, we'll be all around the world fucking with me. So no, you gotta know your strengths and your weaknesses. Mine was never money management. And y'all, unfortunately, I'm only educated when it comes to trucking. I don't know like financial literacy. I don't. Mm-hmm. I just know to pay the folks that do.
So how you vetting the person that you are paying though? That's a good question. Okay.
My parents, they're not filthy rich, but they're well off. My dad is a business owner. He did very well for himself. So my dad's always had, I almost said something that was racist. My dad's always had a nice guy that he's known that has helped us with a lot.
Okay. That's a bit.
Yep, that's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say.
I knew.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, I stopped myself.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
But I don't think they heard me though. Like I whispered.
That's what I was about to say. Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you ask your three.
Question,
no,
man?
I'm gonna let you ask your three. I'm about to dip out real quick. I'm about to go grab our next guest.
Okay.
But I'll be back.
All right.
So while he gets out the camera frame. So I have 3 questions I like to ask as well. My first one, you kind of already just alluded to it. Are you frugal or are you a flexer?
I'm a frugal flexer.
Are you a frugal flexer? You can't even say that shit straight.
And it's so crazy because there are some things that I don't even think about, and then there's something like I'll be like, wait a minute, how much that cost? And he'd be like, what? Did you really just ask that?
Can you give us the flip flop between those 2 things?
The casino.
You go spend a bag at the casino?
But I hit big, so I will. My kids, my God, my kids have free reign of our fun account. We have a fun account. Mm-hmm. I let them do what they like. I spoil my nieces, my babies. Spoil them to death.
And what you be like? Okay, wait, how much was that shit?
Goddamn light bill.
I ain't gonna lie to him, man. Them light bills been hitting.
Man, try having a house that's more than 7,000 square foot. It does.
Jesus.
You
can't switch some of that shit to solar?
Well, you can. You can, but we're getting a house built.
Okay.
So I'm excited. We're getting a compound built.
A compound? Mm-hmm. Damn.
A compound.
Yeah.
What I walk in on?
We're getting a home built. The goal is eventually for us to have our space, some siblings and some parents, and then on the other 50 acres, I want like my tribe stuff.
Oh, that's legacy.
Yeah, I want to do a school. I want to do truck driving schools. I got some dope shit I'm doing.
That's hard.
In the Dallas. Ooh,
that's hard.
Of course.
Talk heavy.
Yes, nowhere but Texas.
I'm telling you, we're going to get that on the board, but we're going to get Bruce to record that for us. We're going to put that as a thing.
This nigga.
I'm going to tell him to.
So, my next question, I think you kind of already answered this too, though, was how are you making sure that your money does pass down to the next 3 generations?
Again, I believe the proper word is estate planning.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we've done.
Okay.
So my estate is planned out very well. As you're asking me this, I believe I probably need to teach my oldest to do some things. Because, God forbid my father passed, but my dad is in charge of a lot when it comes to me.
Mm-hmm.
My father is one of the greatest men. And it's my stepdad. He's one of the greatest men that I know. And I trust his word, like, foolishly. So he got the right people to make sure our money does what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
Again, that ain't what I don't know nothing about that.
I got you.
I just know my daddy took care of it. It's spoiled bratish as that sounds.
No, that's good.
No, but I appreciate that you know your strengths
Mm-hmm.
and you play to those.
Exactly.
The trucking industry.
And
I knew y'all were
going the intro of our show. Like, you don't have to know everything.
Yeah, and
you just have to know the basic concepts, and you need to know what you do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you need to pray and ask God for the right people in your corner.
Amen.
So you can trust them and trust them to do their job.
That's a fact. Last question for me is, do you have life insurance?
We have life insurance policies. We got the kind that I've seen people talk about now where you can borrow against them, the big ones. That's why whenever I get a dude, we run thorough background checks so they don't try to offer me for my money, especially the life insurance policies.
Okay. That's some dope shit. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to learn more about the life insurance policies, y'all go back to the previous episode, right? Because our boy Jake was kicking a lot of game on them.
Oh, yeah.
That one about the whole infinite banking, whole life policies.
Yep.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I'll let you go with your last question.
Oh man, I don't have no more questions, brother.
Okay,
That was it. But
right.
Kierra, I definitely appreciate you joining us on the show. For anybody that's interested, can you please tell them how they can follow you? How can they join the TTG? If just for the BWR listeners, we could do something special for them.
Oh yeah, whatever you want to do, let me know. We could do half off. We could do. Got a lot of good shit. We could, whatever the fuck you want to throw at them. I got you.
Hey.
But my shit is easy. I'm the trucking guru across all social media platforms. And if you want to join the tribe, you just go to the link in my bio. on IG.
Boom,
That's
there
a
you
bet.
have it.
We'll get like a link too that we can just throw in the back bottom of our stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
For sure. So, Kierra, thank you again. This
Thank
has been
you so much.
amazing.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
great-
so glad that we
great
can make this
episode.
connection.
Me
We
too.
definitely got to do this again. I want to talk to you some more just in Dallas to see how we can add value to anything that you have going
Cool, I'm
on
with it.
because, like, again, your name has come up in so many rooms. I think Cosign Awards last year, 2-time award winner. Shout out to
Yeah,
Cosign
shout
Magazine.
out.
You in Dallas, you know who they is. We're going to get KG on this joint eventually, too. But, yeah, 2-time award winner. Glad that we could be in the same rooms and just finally make this connection. So,
Thank y'all for having me. I enjoyed myself.
awesome.
I'm glad that you enjoyed yourself. And thank you for sharing all the information that you did.
Anytime.
Yes,
Sure.
ma'am.
So before we get up out of here, y'all know what we got to do. A couple house cleaning items. Y'all make sure y'all left that 5-star rating and review before y'all dip
Need
out.
that.
Y'all know that this podcast provided you with some value. If you're in the trucking industry or interested in it or know somebody,
I know
in
we
it,
got some truck drivers listening to this too. So
make sure that you send this to somebody that can benefit from this information, because we don't want our people just being in positions where we're working in the business and not on the business. Because if we're talking about wealth, right, we're going real basic, going back to the book that started it for us, cash flow quadrant. We're trying to be on the right side, not the left side. We don't want to be no employees and self-employed people. We want to be business owners and investors.
Yes, sir.
So send this information to people. Kierra has built $1 Billion Tribe, 19 mentees who hit the $1 million mark and like created millionaires. So this is valuable information. Make sure you're sharing it with people. What else you got for them, Jalen?
Y'all make sure y'all join the financially invincible challenge that's happening this week. So when this drop, this will be on that Wednesday. Make sure y'all can still tap in. Y'all get access to all the back catalog as well. It's only $97. Make sure y'all get that. And y'all be on the lookout for what we got planned for next year. I just want y'all to know it's some pressure.
All I know
we
is
haven't been
pressure.
vocal about some of the stuff that's been going on, but we rearranged a lot of shit, got through a little rough patch in the business, and now it's really time to turn up and really kill 2023. So I know we talking about it's gonna be a rough year, but we gonna make this shit spectacular. So y'all be on the lookout for that as well.
Watch us thrive through the down economic times.
Hell yeah.
But until
So
next
I got-
time, y'all, this is Black Wealth Renaissance signing out.
Peace.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles as part of a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce.
Participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.